hop out of a session. All right, guys, we are live with you today. Just sharing with Sandra that we are at Inman. We're coming to you live from Inman right now. We have some rock stars that we just heard on stage, but more importantly, you're going to get to meet a rock star in Sandra. She's going to be with us at our Home Staging and Real Estate Summit. Welcome, Sandra. How are you today?
Hi, Jana. How exciting. I wish I was in Vegas with you now. I love
Well, we absolutely
You might be frozen a
love.
little. I'm not sure.
Oh, sorry, we may have a bit of a connection here, but we absolutely love Inman. I know that we were with you guys in New York right before the shutdown on Inman, and it's always such a great
Right.
collaboration of those in real estate to be able to hear from different agencies, different brands, different businesses, what's going on. And that's something we're going to be doing together in a few weeks with our staging and design companies.
Right.
So, yeah, it's going to be exciting. I know we are talking about, in particular, even some short term rental business. So, tell everyone who you guys are, a little bit about your company, and some of the different services that you guys are offering for Fort Lauderdale and up and down the coast there.
Sure, Jana. So my name is Sandra Holmes. I'm the CEO of Luxe Home Staging and Design. We've been in business for 17 years. Can you believe it? Already 17 years here in South Florida. And we stage from Miami up to the Palm Beaches. And of course, if someone wants to twist our arm, we'll go to the islands or to Key West and Naples, of course. So we have a team of 10 people that are in-house. We have a couple of subcontractors that come in and help us out when we are very productive. So we stage vacant properties, luxury vacants, occupied homes. We do furniture leasing, and most importantly, what really excites me the most is our short-term rental properties that we are doing for our clients right now. And it's helping us in more ways than one. And especially in the last couple of years, we had done a few in the past, throughout the years, but I really wanted to become really good at being able to help our clients out and talking to them more about their properties. And instead of maybe just buying a property and flipping the property, why don't you keep it and let us furnish it and turn it into a short-term rental and show them like the ROI and stuff like that. So we just love doing the short-term rentals. And like you, John, and I've heard you say before, it has really helped fill the calendar quite a bit during the really tough times of COVID. Now, here in Florida, our governor never really shut too much down. So I don't think there was even a day. I think we took one day off after this big announcement. After that, we've been working every day since. Because we're real estate essential, right? So we love this business. We love helping our clients. I would say we're probably one of the largest companies here in South Florida, and we can do a variety of homes. Doesn't matter to us if it's a $200,000 home, or actually today we're preparing for a $24 million home that we need to do next week on Palm Beach Island. So we run the gamut.
Well, what I love about, in particular, short-term rental is, yes, you are in the ideal location when you think about Florida, but here in Dallas, sometimes we're doing 9, and before another 9 have just said yes, and it really doesn't matter where we are. Go where bodies flow, but then again, people are looking for experiences, and so as staging companies, we really are a perfect fit for modeling these short-term rentals. We have
Absolutely.
access to furniture, access
Right.
to suppliers, we have the installers, the logistics, and now it's almost seeing that hybrid of the design project, because typically people are keeping the furniture,
Right.
that staging project. And so I don't know if anyone's come up with a fun word that combines design and staging, but literally that's what we're doing in these
Right.
properties. I know you and I are going to be on stage together talking about
Yeah.
short-term rental. We've got some workshops. So what do you feel like the fear is for staging companies to even think about getting in? What holds them back from thinking about short-term rental?
Well, I always feel like before anybody jumps into anything that they need to study a little bit about what they're going to do to be able to be a success in their industry and to be around it. So, to me, one way that people can really learn about it is, like we go to hotels. What's your hotel experience, right? You have to understand the marketplace, that this is the way that people travel the world now. And you've worked with a lot of people that you're going to be allowed to help them out. And I feel like unless you stay in an Airbnb, to know what they consist of, or to have the conversation with a client about how you're going to help them to with an ROI on their investment, and to get them incremental income and help them to become a super host. So people love where they're staying, and making sure you do not forget anything that needs to go in that house. So being around people, the summit is very important to go to. I know we'll be sharing a lot of details there. Having lists of everything that is important and key that needs to go in the housewares. And I think the biggest fear is for the question is they may not know enough about it. So you have to go to places and be around people where you can learn. I think another thing is that people have their inventory that they've purchased, and maybe they're at that level where they don't want to get rid of their furniture yet because they still want to use it. So, yes, you can rent furniture out to for a short-term rental, but you might as well sell it to them, right? Because unless they're going to keep it for a long time, there's no sense for the owner to keep renting from you. And I think they're fearful that their items will get ruined, but it's okay, because by then, the time you get it back, it's time for a new design trend anyway. We just got back from market last week, and anything that I thought that may still be in style is like out the window. It's a completely different look, right? It's a completely different look. So they have to know the right furniture that's going to last a long time. They need to know about colors and what makes people want to stay at their property. So I think it's about the conversation that they need to have is what holds them back. What do you think?
Well, I think you are spot on. I think it is fear of the unknown. And it's funny, we just got out of a session and we were in with the CEOs, the presidents, the founders of places like Compass and KW and Realogy. And it's unbelievable. They said, understand everything or find out, but also ask questions, right? Always ask questions, because you never know what opportunity you might be missing out on. So it is much more important, like you're saying, get around people that are doing it, that understand it, that are willing to share in their experiences, the successes and the failures. And I think that there's a lot of confidence that can be built in that. And you touched on inventory, because a lot of the inventory that we are staging with may not dovetail straight into short-term rental. So how do we find the right key pieces that are going to even change in some of our buying habits? Like, wow, well, this would be great for a vacant stage, but also could transition nicely into a short-term rental. Right. So, it all starts somewhere, asking the right questions, making sure that we price appropriately. Sometimes they don't know how to price, and we're still trying to figure that out. I know we've done some masterminds. And so it is a new opportunity that, as you mentioned, it can help fill some of that empty calendar. We're hearing, when do they feel like that the real estate market's going to change? And they're saying not for another 3 to 5 years. We're going to still have this shortage of inventory on the market. So that means that if we are just trying to tread water with just a couple of different staging services, we really need to think about modifying what we're doing.
Right. And it's the process too, because there's a lot more work that goes into it besides just a vacant stage, because, you've got to know what they need. That they need to have 3 to 4 sets of sheets, 3 to 4 sets of towels. They got to have all the housewares, and don't forget that one thing that the person might grab for, and then they leave a bad review of because you didn't have it in the house. So as the expert, you need to become the expert of knowing what really needs to be in a house. It's like open up your kitchen cabinets and look at everything you have in there and what you can and cannot live without. So that helps on that. And as far as furniture, there's a lot of furniture now that is commercial grade, performance fabric. There's a
Yes.
lot of furniture being made with slip covers now. So it's easy to take off and clean. And these kind of things are perfect for short-term rentals.
You're absolutely right. Knowing what we can slip cover, from the duvets to the pillows, and knowing those fabrics, the durability of furniture, how many turns it can do,
Right.
usage. So I think that it is something that we can kind of bolt on to our company, but we definitely don't need to stop the flow of the typical business coming in. It's almost like we need to maybe add a specialist in that's going to
Yep.
take on it. Maybe it's the business owner. I know I jumped in
Yeah.
back into my business when we were talking about, short-term rental, building that side of the business up. I didn't want to take away from what was working. Like, you
Right.
guys still stay in this lane, and I'm going to learn all I can and start building this on the side. So we have our first hire that you guys are going to get to meet at Summit. That
Great.
comes strictly from the short-term rental business, and they have 1,000 properties in Dallas alone that she's worked with, this amazing company, and they
Wow.
do 30-day minimum. So it's not like we're a strategic compete against them. So these short stay companies are here. They have hired, they have trained people. It may be time, if you want to get into this, to think about a part-time specialist, someone that understands the business, than starting from total scratch. And I
Right.
know that that's what we've done.
Right. And you're right, Jana, because actually I have been handling along with one of our designers to ensure that we are getting the processes and the ordering and the timing of everything right before we can go ahead and train somebody else that to either hire. Our stagers are already productive, right? It's like you can't really pull them away from doing it. And so, I'll find myself on Amazon at midnight, ordering some things, but at least I got the list down pat now, right? So I can just go in and keep reordering. It's that first time that takes a while, but I love it. I really do love
Well,
it.
I saw the fire I saw the passion in you, the fire in your belly, the excitement. It's almost like a refresh or a recharge, because
Yeah.
like you, and myself, Blair, some others, I mean, we can see this as a retirement play. Like,
Right.
if our goal is to have properties and to be able to, retire in the real estate game, knowing that our staging companies can provide that service that's
Right.
needed. That's the one big challenge that some of these STR companies have, is really styling it, setting up, having access to inventory. And so if we can see this as a long-term play as well as a little bit of a short game, that's super exciting, right?
Right. Now we just need our own properties to do.
I know, and we're working on it. That's great.
Yes.
We've got 4 apartments currently, and I have 3 new complexes to walk when I get back on Friday.
Oh.
And then we've got our lake house that's in final inspection today, that we will hope
Oh,
on
great. Make sure you
Friday.
take a lot of pictures. I want to
Oh,
see that when we come and see you in a couple of weeks.
well, we are so excited, and that's one thing that I love about our organizations, is we're in the business too. You guys are in the business, so not only are we teaching, but we're learning, and we are right alongside each other. So I know our sessions are going to be great. I
Yeah.
cannot wait.
I know.
What are some things that that the audience is going to want? Maybe they're going to ask the question, or want to know more about.
Well, if they're going to provide the service for, because there's 2 ways to look at it. Either they want to start their own STRs as themselves,
Yes.
or is providing that service to the clients. And I think it's going to be like how to find them. And I'll give a quick example, just because I've been speaking so much about it to our own clients. We had a customer the other day that had just bought an apartment complex, and they contacted us because they wanted us to do a model, and there's going to be 20 units in there. And he just wanted us to do one model. And here I am thinking, okay, that sounds good, but why are you doing long-term rentals? I'm like, this is the perfect location for you. Have you considered making these all short-term rentals and vacation properties, with 30-day less stays? And he said, not really. I hear people are doing that. I said, well, let me tell you, let me run some numbers for you. And I just said on Air DNA, right? I go, and let's see if it's going to be worth it for you to do that. I said the upfront cost might be a little bit more.
By the way,
But
Air
again,
DNA is here. How great is that, right? How
yeah.
fun. We're getting into the real estate space, but go ahead.
Oh, so maybe you should get them to come to Dallas in a couple, or Irving, Texas, in a couple of weeks and come and see, because that would be great. They could teach us more. No, but really, I think that having the conversation, because yeah, you're there you got called to provide a service, but here I am flipping their mind around, because one, it's going to bring a lot more business to me. Now I can furnish 20 units instead of one. Think about that. I know that I'm giving them and giving them a solution for a long-term investment for their ROI, so they can get the greater ROI. And the different things that we talk to them about too is that the property is always clean, and there's other maintenance issues. It's caught sooner than having a long-term person in there, and et cetera. There's so many things that we're going to be able to discuss on stage. I think that question is, how do you find them and how do you have the conversations? What kind of inventory should we really get? And what we learned, even when we were in San Diego, we went to go see Jay Massey, was it's really all about the experience, right? So the experience of what you're going to buy out of that property, get that one rented before anybody else, is what you've got to be really good at, and knowing who your demographic person is that's coming to stay in those locations. You call it avatar, I call it who's going to be staying there, right? Or who are we going to attract? Because you can make it look a certain way, and you could get, it's either going to be a party house, which you don't want, or you want to be able to charge a lot more money by giving that model look every time, right?
And I know that
those
that's
are a few things that I think that they'll add.
Yes, and getting that luxury look, getting that ideal client to be able to attract that higher end. They're willing to pay. They're willing to take a little bit more care of the property. It is what I believe we should all be going after. It doesn't mean it's the right model for everyone, but I know we share in that idea. Because if we're going to do something, like let's do it right, and let's do it where it's has the best, highest opportunity for the ROI. So yes, lots of questions, whether it is from the realtors wanting to get in, the staging business owners wanting to explore. Maybe they want to build their own book of business, like you and I are focused on doing, and it being a long-term play also in the short game. So it's huge. The opportunity is there, and we're just going to explore and talk about it. And it's ideal, perfect in your scenario, but it can also be ideal and perfect for others that are in mid-America, and it's like, what are the attractors? What is the who, as you said, and how do we build a property and an experience that they will absolutely pay for? But also, when we get the call from our clients, or we have that investor property that's not moving as quickly as they want, we can't be afraid to explore that and say, hey, what about let's turning this into a short-term rental, and here's how I would price that, and what type of better, best do you want, and what do I advise you to do? And then, my goodness, the work behind the scenes of the staging company, if we're doing everything, is a long list. So how do we do that effectively and efficiently?
Right. Exactly. I always say, if you build, they will come. And it doesn't matter where you are in the United States of America. You don't need to be in a ski mountain or a beach location where there's water. I mean, people have all different kinds of interests and reasons that they want to travel. So some people might think it may not work in their area, but to me, that might be the greatest area to go. And, even in towns where there may be not that many hotels, because it's a smaller, location, or put it this way, if they're building hotels, that's where you need to have an Airbnb, right? So, and that's how people want to travel now. So having these conversations, really, even the realtors that are going to be in the audience, is how are they going to have the conversations with their clients? They could probably even sell, 1 to 2 more homes a month to some of these investors that are looking, just based on them getting that knowledge to have the conversation.
Well, and here's the thing, people will pay more for a property. They may spend a little bit more even above the ask, knowing that that's going to have a higher ROI, monthly. It's going to have so ideally, any short-term rental property that you have in a portfolio is paid off within 5 years. That is almost unheard of. Like, what other way can you do that? But the math is there, and if you do it right with the professional stagers, you being a subject matter expert on this, they're going to listen and they're going to pay and invest with you, because their goal is to have the inventory paid off within 3, 4, most by 5 months. Within 5 months, the inventory is paid off by the revenue that's coming in. So there's a little bit of formulas that we're going to share with you guys at Summit. I can't wait to be in the room with Sandra. I cannot wait for all of those that are listening to join us for Summit. And if you are a realtor out there and you are in the southern area of Florida, definitely reach out to Sandra. They have the Luxe company. If you're looking for staging, yes, they can do inventory. Yes, they can do models. Yes, they can do the condos. Do not, if you have any project, big or small, definitely reach out. Sandra, how could people reach out to you if they are in your area, or they have buyers in your area, or sellers?
Right. Yeah, right. And it seems like the world is moving to Florida. So, we always do the staging to live and interior decorating services too. We're getting a lot of calls for that. Season's coming up around the corner here, and everybody's coming to Florida for that.
Right.
So, but to get a hold of us, it's simple. My number is easy. It's 954-304-7355. And you can find us on our website at Luxe Home Staging and Design. We're on all the social media platforms. Just look under Luxe Home Staging. Our team of social media people are posting on those sites all the time. And, it's a way to get inspired or to get some ideas and tips. We share whatever's going to help make anyone successful. But they can get a hold of us just as simple as that.
I love it. I love it. Well, you guys have a rock star company, one of the best in the entire country. No doubt about it. So I can't wait to see you guys. It's going to be so fun. Hopefully the weather is good in Dallas, and we're going to go learn a little bit more, because we've got some other incredible takeaways that we are taking notes. Barbara's here with us. We are taking so many notes to be able to debrief and download to our home staging and design community there. So can't wait to see you. And
I can't wait to see you.
Yeah, it's going to be great. We'll hop over possibly to Clubhouse. If anybody's listening and wants to jump on, we'll answer a few questions there. Sandra, we will see you soon.
All right. Have a great time in Vegas. Thanks for having me.
Sounds good. Bye-bye.